So I wanted to make a quick video leading up to my now very pending trip to the Copenhagen Grand Clash on Saturday, the 22nd of March. First up, I am very sad to say that my sparring partner in crime, Dennis, will not be making the trip as planned. He was bedridden all of last week pretty much, and as a small business owner, he has to stay home and make up for the lost income. Alas, life sucks sometimes. I was very much looking forward to bringing along my friend to this awesome experience, and I'm also sad for the community down there to not be able to experience Dennis as well, as you couldn't wish for a more polite, fun and sportsmanlike opponent. And I think his Majoris, who he has put a lot of hours into, would have had indeed a good shot at winning the best painted as well, even if the competition is very steep, of course. Let's hope that he can make it next year. I, though, will this time make it a 2-day visit, staying over in lovely Copenhagen, rather than just a back and forth on Saturday like previously. And I will bring 2 warbands along with me. Leading up to the Grand Clash is a Friendly Legends Nemesis tournament of 3 best-of-1 games on Friday night. And I decided to take, with some guidance from the channel Discord, my beloved but miniature-wise rather neglected Godsworn Hunt. I touched up on their skin tone and their bases to make them somewhat presentable. Yagathra's spear is banged up and have had to been replaced by some cruel boy contraption, and the top of Ollo's bow was broken off, so I added in some weird stuff there as well. But yeah, I think they will do fine. I had no idea how their stats looked, but after checking them up, they're not half bad. Both Gwendon and Thedra picks up 3 damage inspired without the need of Grievous. Thedra has gained a 4th health, probably mostly to make her worth that 2 bounty and get the warband total to 7 in a 6-man warband. While Sean goes from 1 dodge to 2 shields inspired. Yes, thank you. Indeed, all of the fighters gain 2 defense inspired, which is a huge leap forward for them. The only sort of nerf parent to me is to Yagathra's spear, which have lost that juicy +1 damage on the charge, but also now she does not need to gain a restricted upgrade to be able to toss her spear again. Ollo has also gained a melee attack, which he didn't previously have, which actually goes to 2 damage inspired, so there's plenty of potential to go around here, not only on Grundon, Sean and Thedra. Obviously I will pair them with the Slayer War Scroll for some guns blazing aggro. I don't want to be thinking too hard about my decisions in a sort of a beer and pretzel type of event. Pairing wise, I'm thinking Blazing Assault supplemented with a Countdown to Cataclysm, as I think these guys will die in droves, and so they should be advancing the tracker fairly consistently. For the main event on Saturday, I am bringing my Iron Soul Condemners. I'm taking alternative models from the Ruination Chamber, as I felt the old Stormcast sculpts are a bit meh. For my leader Gwyn, I found her female counterpart in the Lord Veritant to suit really well, striding blindfolded into combat, picking off her targets with Zen-like calm. For Tavian, I'm choosing one of the Sword and Board models from the Reclusions unit, or Axe and Board, I guess. Battle-hardened Stormcast near their very last reforging will represent this potent, more defensive fighter well, I think. Lastly, Brodus with his Great Maul will be replaced with the most badass model from the Scaventine box in the Lord Terminus. His hands resting calmly on that huge Executioner's axe, awaiting his next victim of choice. I chose this warband mainly because of the alternative models idea, but also I wanted to take something I don't normally take. I usually stay clear of 3-man elite warbands, as I tend to take warbands that hover more around the type of 5-6 models that the Godsworn Hunt are, for example. I also didn't want to take something really sort of meta strong, but still something that could do decent. And the same goes for my pairing of Blazing Assault and Rack and Ruin, which is just objectively worse of a choice than Blazing Assault and Reckless Assault in my opinion, but it's gonna make for interesting playing, and it will be fun to see if I can still do okay with them, with a warband and a pairing, and if not, I'm still gonna have a blast. The tournament is 7 games of best of 1. I really like this, not least because I get to play with more people, and that's always a positive. Also, best of 2 or best of 3 is more of a moot point now that board selection is more or less done away with. Games will no longer be heavily skewered in the pre-game, as was oftentimes the case in the first edition of the game. The top table will, as mentioned before, be aired here on a Critical Focus channel, with me rambling along with the imagery, together with Jonas or Thomas. We'll see. One of the TOs anyway. For the minuscule chance that I myself should make it to the top table, we'll figure something out, I guess, but I don't think you will have to worry about that. There'll be no fancy overlays and stuff, but hopefully it'll be good anyways. I might revisit the final with added stuff later on for a sort of touched up version, but no promises. As of today, the roster is shaping up to be close to 40 players, and if that holds, it's a hefty increase in participants from the last one, which saw, if memory serves, 28 of them. So very welcome news, given that we are playing a totally new edition. I don't have any information on heavily featured warbands. I can't see that on the roster as of yet, but I reckon we'll see at least one Itzel and one Sarbax warband. After the tournament, I'll do a recap of my visit, but next up, of course, the live stream, so be sure to tune in. The time for that stream is very loosey-goosey, might be 1 or even 2 hours off, I don't know, as we don't have the exact time, so please be patient if we are not on air when the stream kicks off. Have a great rest of your day, take care, bye.